a whole bunch of the Miniverse real brands. Oh, it would be nice if we would focus, but no, we're focused on the dolls. Let's see if I can get this in focus. Sorry, I've got all of my dolls set up. I have been working on so much content and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Let's see if I can get it to actually focus on the minis here. Just make a small adjustment to my camera. There we go. Now we can see the real deal. Here it is, the Mini Brands competitor, Miniverse, and they are making real brands. Now, I must be honest, I actually have 5 balls that I've already opened, but I haven't done anything with them. So we're actually going to start with those. I was so impatient when I came in the car that I had to open them. And so I have a couple that look like this. So we're going to tackle those first. Let me just make sure I can pull up the chat here off to my side. Give me one moment. And then we will start opening. All right, let's go. Here we go. I am going to start with this one right here, and we will check out the first 5. The first thing we're going to look at is the map. Well, my son calls it the map, and so now I've been calling it the map forever. Here we go. This is the Miniverse Real Brands Guide. We're going to see how many products we've got in this one, and talk about some of the comparisons to the mini brands that Zuru have been making, and see what MGA did with their series. So here we go. Miniverse, Real Brands, Outrageous Specials, Series 1, which is great because hopefully that means they're going to make a lot more, you know, if we like these. The first thing we see is jellies and jams and spreads. And it shows that we've got a jar, spoon, and a packet. So I guess you get to fill the products yourself. The next thing we've got are 2 different jars of Jif. I'm assuming, let's see, that one is creamy. And that one says, oh, yeah, Ultra Crunch. So we've got 2 different peanut butters. It's going to be interesting to see if they've actually got 2 different textures. Same thing. You're going to fill those up. And then we've got 3 different Eggos. We got little mini pancakes, the little mini waffles that are shaped like toast, and the round ones, which is exciting because it appears that we're going to be able to open these products up. And unlike mini brands, like we've been saying as miniature collectors for years, we are finally going to actually get something inside those damn boxes. It's about time. Instead of having to make our own minis, now we're finally getting the real thing. So we have got the Pop-Tarts. We've got 3 different kinds there, which is awesome. Do they really come in the foil wrappers? We will find out. We've got 2 different cans of coffee. We've got, I've seen that can before. What is that? Cafe Bustelo and Folgers. That's the one I recognize. I don't drink either of those. I've got bougie coffee taste. I love my Wawa. But I do recognize both. Then we've got all kinds of Hostess products. We've got mini donuts, Twinkies, cupcakes, and snowballs. Those I loved as a kid, but I think they are so gross right now because as an adult, I just can't do marshmallow. It's a texture thing. I have a rule that I don't eat foods that wiggle, but you know, that's just me. Anyway, we've got Rice Krispie treats and some Uncrustables. I have never seen that flavor before. What is that? Peanut butter and raspberry spread. All right. I might be the only person on the planet that doesn't like peanut butter and jelly. I respect those of you that do, but I don't, it's not an allergy or anything. I just don't like peanut butter. But anyway, we've also got Cheez-Its and a whole bunch of Pringles. And what's on the back here? All right, we've got Planters, 2 different kinds of cans of nuts and corn nuts, 2 different cans of Spam and the Hormel chili, which again, we're going to fill those. This I'm excited about. I just saw this yesterday when I opened this for the first time. Now, I haven't looked at any of the products yet, but I did open the map. So again, it's not a map. It's a checklist or a guide or whatever, but my son's been saying that since he was literally a baby, so there's no way I'm going to be able to stop calling it that. We have got ground Jennie-O turkey, oven-ready bacon, which that looks like the same one that comes in the Fill the Fridge mini brands. I think that's the same brand. And then we've got sliced lunch meats, which I'm really excited to see because, like, how did they pull that off? Like, can we actually use them with Miniverse toast to make sandwiches? Or, like, is it one solid product I don't know, but I'm dying to see. Then we've got 4 different kinds of cheeses. We've got Laughing Cow and Baby Bells, which, again, to unwrap those and actually have little pieces. Oh, sorry, I've got paint all over my hands. I've been putting up Halloween decorations for 3 days. Anyway, I do 3 yards in my neighborhood, my house, and both of my adjacent neighbors. So, like, I have really been through it, and my hands show it. Anyway, we've got 4 different types of Breyers, so that'll be exciting. I do love Breyers ice cream. Similarly, we've got Talenti, which I believe is gelati. Anyway, hi. Let's see, who do we have? Magdalena. Uh, I'm gonna kill this. I can't read your whole username, but it starts with Magdalena, I believe. And then we've also got, is that Cat Calton? No, Calton 08. Anyway, hi to both of you guys. Okay, we've got, let's see, we've got creamsicles. Oh my gosh, I freaking love these. Not as much the Good Humor brand creamsicles. I kind of like Blue Bunny a little better when it comes to the popsicles. But these guys, oh, I wish they had the strawberry ones so bad. I love the strawberry ones. Oh, they're my absolute favorite. Jonathan Cabrera, hello to you too. Hi. All right, we've also got Klondike bars. I want to see if these are like completely finished products. You just unwrap them and they're done. Are these things going to be something you can put back in the wrapper, rewrap, or are they going to be kind of a one and done? I don't know. I'm really excited to see what the actual products look like. And then lastly, we've got fudgesicles, which are hands down one of the best popsicles ever. The only one that competes is the Good Humor strawberry ones. And then we've got regular popsicles and those. Again, I might be the only person on earth that never liked those firecracker ones. That's probably just because I think that everything that's cherry flavored tastes like cold medicine. But maybe that's just me. Anyway, so it says we've got 50 plus to collect. So what, like 51? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 55. Why didn't they just say that? Why 50 plus? It's just 55. There's 55 to collect. But whatever, there's 55 products altogether. And we're going to see which 5 I got in the ball that I opened yesterday that I have not yet looked at. And the first thing it looks like we've got is the Talenti. And again, I'm so sorry. I did just wash my hands, but I've got paint on them. And it looks like we got the strawberry one, which is very cool. So let's go ahead and open this up and find out what texture this is, because that's what this stream is about. I don't want to just show you guys the products. I actually want to find out, like, what is the deal with these things? I was wondering, is it all kinetic sand or what? So, plenty. Okay, how do we open this? So it doesn't screw off, it pops off. Or wait, oh no, it does. It actually is a very tiny screw off cap. And then this is a very fine, let's see if you can see the texture. So it's a very fine kinetic sand. And wow, when you look at that up close, like definitely looks like gelati. So that is pretty awesome. Let's see if this actually fits in here well. I've tried not to watch any videos. Ooh, you said the fudge ones slap? I can't wait to see them. All right, check this out. We're going to put this in here. Looks like we get a little bit more than fits in the container, which I'm not opposed to. I think that's great if we do. Oh, no, look at that. Wow. Boy, they did a hell of a job. Look at that. There is not room for a single air bubble in that container. No wasted space. No wasted product. Okay, again, I believe it screws on instead of snapping. Oh, that's good. I'm trying to put it on upside down. Wow, I'm really, really tired, guys. Sorry about that. And nope, just snaps down. All right. So there it is, dairy-free sorbetto, and it is Roman raspberry, and that looks really legit. Let's take a look at what it looks like, because it also comes with the scoop. So let's see if we can do this. Check it out. Ready? Try and get a full scoop there. Oh, yeah, that's pretty legit. See if we can actually make it look like an ice cream scoop. Like if you were to put this in a dish that you had, if you've got extra dishes, or like even like Barbie plates or something, like you could definitely, style this and make it look really good. And you could make, an entire dessert. You could even top it with a little bit of resin, and then you've got product left over, which is incredible. Like that is what I am so excited about with this series, is that you got product left over. You can make so many customs with these things. It's going to be so good. So there we go. There's the Talenti. I'm not going to take forever looking at each one, but I do want to open all of them and show them off. The next thing we've got is the Pringles sour cream and onion. And now, what was it? The Kawaii series mini brands recently, they had the little bags of pup chips, And when you opened them, I was shocked to find that there was actual chips inside. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that, but when I took the lid off, I didn't actually have to start this. It was already peeled just a tiny bit. And that is how it came. I didn't actually have to peel this open. But look at that. Ready? We've got an entire can of teeny tiny Pringles chips. And they are really good. Now, they aren't coated with anything. They don't actually look like sour cream and onion. So there is the opportunity to use like a little bit of mica or something and to dust them. Oh, hang on one second. I want to make sure my phone is charging here, because I have had times where I'm live and then all of a sudden my phone kicks out on me. So let me just double check my charger here. All right, let me check that. No, why am I not charging? Hang on one second, guys. Last thing I want to do is lose you while I'm in the middle of going live. Uh-oh. What is wrong with my charger? Hang on. Oh, I think that's it. I think I wasn't plugged in all the way. No. Really? What is up with this phone? Sorry, guys. I am having the hell of a time lately. It was charging before I went live. And, of course, now it's not. All right, give me 1 second. I've got another charger right behind me. My sincerest apologies. The last thing I want to do is be in the middle of this and get kicked off. Especially when I haven't gone live in forever. What a disaster. All right, I've got a phenomenal charger right next to me. See, my husband always makes fun of me for stealing his chargers, but I swear, every charger I have seems to work to charge my phone approximately twice, and then it's dead. So here we go. Take 2. Double checking. And there we go. My phone is charging. All right, let's try this again. So anyway, we've got the Pringles. And like I was saying, they don't have any indication that they're actually sour cream and onion. They just look like regular Pringles potato chips. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that my fingernails are so dirty. I'm going to have to do everything with my left hand, since my left hand seemed to have gotten the better deal when I scrubbed. But anyway, yeah, so there are the chips. You could definitely, put a coating on them. You could make different flavors. I know that there were lots and lots of different mini brands that came with Pringles. So, obviously the chips wouldn't fit in the other cans, but you know what? Not even gonna worry about putting them back in there because that's going to take too long. All right. So next thing we've got is the bacon spam. Huh, this is my favorite stuff, making spam musubi. I am definitely going to have to crack open one of my Miniverse products that has the rice and make some nori paper so that I can make spam musubi in miniature, because this stuff is delicious. So when you crack open the can of spam, it looks like spam, definitely less slimy, and also doesn't smell as good. And then when you open the can, all right, so this is what I can see is that there are a couple of slices that are pre-made. And then we've got one chunk, and the feeling, the texture here is pretty rubbery. It's like, feels like a kind of a soft pencil eraser. But if you have a, like an X-Acto knife, you could definitely make more slices of this, no problem. So you're not limited to just the 2 that they gave you. So that's pretty awesome. And it looks just like the real thing. I mean, obviously now, maybe you could dust it with some mica in order to have it look a little more cooked, because that definitely looks like what it looks like when it first comes out of the can. So that was pretty cool. Maybe I'll have to do a cooking segment one day where I open the actual products with the minis. That would be pretty cool. I could match cooking real food and making matching miniatures. I guess I'd have to prep the real food ahead of time and then bring the cooked items and then, try to make miniatures to match. But there we go. There's our can of spam. Oops. I meant to put I wanted to keep the little lid back on the top of there so that I have it. So that's the other thing. I wanted to look at these products and really see, once you open them, are the product packages basically destroyed, so they're kind of a one-time opening deal, or are you able to reseal a lot of these? Next thing we've got is the box of Rice Krispie treats, and let's see how many. Oh, it says we've got 2 bars inside, so we can see if that's actually true. And yep, inside the box we have what seems to be 2 packages, and they are individually wrapped, which is nice. And inside, of course, man, I am just dropping stuff left and right today. But we've got one of these individual, and I can feel the Rice Krispie treat in there. Now, it feels pretty small compared to the size of the packaging. Let me pick up the second one that I dropped here real quick. Sorry about that. All right, so we've got 2 of them. They seem to be, wow, just can't hang on to them. All right, 2 of them that are exactly the same. There we go, just like that. And because I have 2, I don't feel so bad about opening one. I do wish I brought my X-Acto knife because I like to fold open this flap on the back and like slice the package like right here behind this little flap. That way, when you're actually holding the thing forward, you can usually slide the product back into the mini, or in the case of like mini brands where I usually make my own minis to put inside, that way you can open the packaging without completely ruining it. Let me grab an X-Acto knife from right behind me so that I can open this one without ruining the product completely. Hang on one second. You would think that I would have been completely prepared ahead of time and had my X-Acto knife handy and everything, but that would have just been too simple, wouldn't it? All right, I don't have an X-Acto within reach, but I do have a really sharp pair of tweezers, so I'm going to use this to make a nice straight slice. All right, here we go. So let's see what the Rice Krispie treat looks like on the inside. And I have got a candle next to me that was made by one of those like custom candle places. And it looks like dessert. And this thing smells, it's got some sprinkles left on it. It smells so incredible. It was fun. Oh, it was like a hot chocolate scent. Oh my God, this thing's killing me because it's right next to me. And it smells so incredible. I just happened to be at my office tonight and actually had enough time while I was shipping out products. And I've been dying to open these all week. And I kept thinking to myself while I was putting up Halloween decorations with my family, no, just get to your office and do a live, because I bet a lot of people will want to see all the details of these products. And I figured I would. And sure enough. All right, so here we go. This is what it looks like inside. We've got one solid piece. Texture looks great. Nice and close up. And we've got an actual little Rice Krispie treat. They're pretty small compared to the like individual packaging there. So this is what you get inside. I think they definitely could have gotten away with putting like, 2 in here. I know it's hard because the interior packaging, like reality wise, inside of this box, you would get what, 6 or 8 of them at the grocery store, and the individual wrappers would be much closer in size to the actual treats. But whatever. I think they're still pretty good. I mean, it's a shame you obviously wouldn't be able to do anything really with this one. It's flexible. I don't know if you can see that. It does bend a little bit. And you could definitely cut it and make it look like somebody took a bite out of it, with a sharp X-Acto or something. But, you could probably also decorate them. Like you could do like a swirl of fudge or frosting or something. Maybe put some little M&Ms in it to make like fancier Rice Krispie treats. Even like a swirl of like, chocolate or orange on top of some so that you have like, seasonal. You could do Halloween ones. But that's what you get in there. So you get 2. And see what I mean? Where I kind of opened it nice and... I mean, I didn't just open the back of this one because, again, I didn't have my X-Acto. But at least I just sliced through it with a nice straight line so that if I want to make it look like it's, just being freshly opened for videos or photos, I can do that. All right, let's take a look at what we've got next. Also, what in the world is this? Oh, that's a piece of my candle that fell off. All right, here we go. So let's put the Rice Krispie treats away. So we've had Talenti, we've had the Pringles, the Spam, the Rice Krispies, and the last one in this first package is the Baby Bell. And now I don't think that there's any way to take a look at these without just straight up opening this bag, which obviously means that the packaging is not going to be... Oh, okay, here we go. It's closed with a rubber band. So there you go. So again, you can take one of the cheeses out and then basically reseal your product so it doesn't look like it's been torn apart and used. So that's pretty awesome. And then let me see if I can get these this rubber band with tweezers so that I don't destroy it. Here we go. Couldn't grab that with my fingers because it's too small, but I can get the tweezers in there. And I can just unwind the clear. It's basically like a clear hair rubber band. That was a creative way to do that. I like that idea because, again, it means you don't have to like tear the netting and then ruin your product packaging. So I'm not going to take the time to put it back together since we're on live and it would take forever. But look at that. Ready? Just wind it back up after I took the one out. And I could easily slide that back down over there. But more importantly, let's take a look at one of these ones that needs to be unwrapped, and we'll see what we've got here. So it's pretty stuck. It's like smushed tight down on itself, which we're talking about tiny packaging. I mean, look at this thing. It's like basically the size of my fingernail. So I'm going to have to basically destroy this little piece of wrapper to get it off of here because there's not really any chance. Now, whatever's in here is very soft. So it is feeling very mushy, and I'm afraid I'm going to have it completely misshapen by the time I get the wrapper off. And so what do we have? Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, it's even exceeding my expectations. Oh my gosh. Ready? Look at the wax. And then it comes with the, oops, sorry, I'm losing focus here. It comes with the middle pre-peeled so that you can just fold this back. Ah, look at the cheese. Oh my gosh. Look at the little piece of Baby Bell cheese. That's incredible. Okay, I have to get my Rainbow High doll so you guys can see size-wise what we're talking about. Hang on. One moment, please. I'm going to actually grab my doll, and I'm going to grab my magic eraser so I can try to get that paint off my fingers so you're not looking at my dirty fingers. Hang on. 1 second. All right, I've got my doll. I'll be right there. All right. I am back. I'm back. I wanted to show you size-wise what these look like. This is my mini me. Oop, don't be losing your shirt, girl. Not on a live stream. We don't need to get, I mean, we're not even monetized yet, but we don't need to get demonetized before we do. Be losing our channel for immodesty. All right, here we go. So here she is with the package of Baby Bell. We'll give her the whole bag for just a moment, right? So that is what she looks like size-wise with the package. So, like, absolutely perfect, right? Could not have been better. And then when you actually give her, I love the fact that you can put the cheese back in and peel it and repeel it over and over again because it's already pre-sliced. That was another thing I was worried about, you know, whether we were going to have to tear it open and then it would be torn and then you couldn't do it again. But there she is holding on to. There's the size of the Baby Bell cheese. How freaking perfect are these minis? Oh my God. Finally, what we are asking for in the miniature world. We are getting miniatures that are the right size to use with fashion dolls. That is amazing. Okay, let me get this paint off my finger. I got the magic eraser, and hopefully I hate touching these things. Oh my God, it's a sensory nightmare. But like every time I zoom in on the close-up of these little tiny products, I am seeing this awful paint smudge on my fingers. And I'm like, oh, I don't want you guys to be looking at my dirty hands. I literally thought, too, I scrubbed my hands before I came in here. And I thought I did a pretty good job. And as soon as I started up the live, I realized that somehow I had missed like 5 spots on my right hand. All right, sorry. I promise I won't hold you guys up any longer. You're probably saying, forget it, just do the damn thing. All right, let's see what else we got here. Ready? On to this one. And I will bring her back over to show the sizes of the different products. Oh, here, as a matter of fact, before we do that, ready? Here are the box of Rice Krispie treats. So you can see it with a Rainbow High. And then also, let's check this out. We'll give her the products. I'm going to do this before I put them away from now on. And ready? Here you go. That is Mini Me with a Rice Krispie treat, which is awesome because I love Rice Krispie treats. So your girl will be definitely. Now, the Talenti, our size is going to be off here a little bit, unless Talenti makes like gallon buckets that I'm not aware of. But this is a lot bigger than the Talenti that I've seen at like our grocery store. This would be like your Costco version of Talenti, I think. Check that out. I mean, it's delicious, and I love frozen products. A lot of times with POTS and my EDS, like the only thing I can tolerate eating are really cold foods because they're like the only thing that doesn't make me super nauseous. But that is a lot of gelati for my girl right now. That is a big product. Similarly, the Spam, again, I actually think this one works a bit better. The can is definitely a little bit big, but, you know, definitely doable. Again, same thing. I feel like our chips, let's do this. Here is our Pringles can, which I feel like the mini brand's can size is going to be a little bit better because, like, look at that. That's a little huge. And let's take a look at the actual potato chip. Now, the single chips, those are pretty doable. I mean, if you were like in middle school and you did that thing that all the kids do with the Pringles chips, and you make like the duck lips. Let's see if we can do it. So, like, here you go. Let's see if these are sized right for my girl. I think that they are. Oh no, I can't do it. Turn it over. Talk about being ridiculous. What did you do with your evening last night, hon? Oh, I made duck lips out of potato chips. But like, for real, they're the right size. So, attention to detail with these products is so impressive. MGA, you guys are killing it. We have been telling Zuru for how long that they needed to put things in these boxes, and finally they are doing it. Anyway, all right, so that is ball number 1 out of the way. Let us take a look at the next one. And now, from what I have heard, when I was looking at the cheats on Meeny Miny Mo, it seems that unlike mini brands, once again, when you've got the cheat codes on these, let me see if I can quickly spot where the, what are they called? Where the little holes are. The pinholes, because of course the cheats are. I didn't worry about the pinholes when I bought them because I knew I was just buying like multiple cases. But lately they have been really, oh, I think do we have pencil marks? Yep, there we go. There's a pencil mark. So on the word Cheez It, that one's got a 1 on it. Let's take a look. Yep, there we go. Is that right? Nope, that one doesn't seem to. Oh, wait, there's a pencil mark on the H. So I'm guessing that these are the pinholes. Yep, there it is again. There's one on the E. So we've either got numbers or little dashes, pencil marks. So every ball that has like the 5 products, other balls that have the same pinhole are going to have those same 5 products, which to me is great because if you want to get duplicates of like certain ones that you really like, you can do exactly that. All right, I'm going to just keep setting the maps aside because obviously I don't need 6,000 of those. And let's take a look at our first product. Got another new one. And we have Jif. This is the extra crunchy, which, again, I'm a weirdo that doesn't like peanut butter and jelly. But if I was going to eat peanut butter in something, I would go the crunchy route. So we have got what appears to be... Ooh, what is that? Well, it's definitely chunky. So there is our texture. Wow. It feels like chunky peanut butter. Let's open this thing up. And we also get a spatula with it, which is nice. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We get a knife, which is nice. And we will see how much that helps in getting this stuff out. And what a mess this is. Because it doesn't feel like kinetic sand like the other one did. So let's check out the ultra crunchy peanut butter if I can get... Wow. These packages are not that easy to open. Okay, here we go. We've got it open, and it looks a little more solid. Ooh, the texture is like, okay, it's like slime, basically, some sort of slime. Okay, it's almost disconcerting just how much that feels like peanut butter. It's a little more sticky and a little less, obviously peanut butter would like get all over my hands, and this is sticking to itself, which real peanut butter would not do. But the attention to detail, folks, look at the crunchy peanut chunks in the extra crunchy peanut butter. I mean, that's legit. And it seems that when you open up the packaging all the way, just like slime, look at that. I can get every last drop of peanut butter out of there. I'm not wasting any, even the little bits that are stuck on the bottom. When you open the packet all the way, you can just use the peanut butter and it pulls it right out. So that is impressive. I only got one little piece that stuck to my finger, but it comes right off. And then, yeah, I'm going to guess this is some kind of, it feels like maybe silly putty. I think that's going to be my guess. It's going to be like almost like silly putty. And then it's got some sort of chunks in it that, who knows what those are. I'm sure they're like little tiny plastic bits or something. And great, now I dropped the peanut butter jar. Wow, I have got like absolute butterfingers tonight. Hang on, gotta retrieve the peanut butter jar so we can put the peanut butter in it. Hang on one moment, folks. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. Fell all the way under the table and rolled. Here we go. I gotta put like a net right here under my phone so that I've got my table out here, but I have a little bit of space in front of me so I can move and everything. And I just keep dropping everything down there. All right, so we've got the peanut butter jar, and I'm gonna like basically make a tube with it. Gonna make myself a peanut butter snake and then try to do that to fill it up. Because I could see that this could probably be a little bit tricky, because if it's as full as the other jar was, I could see how this might be a problem trying to get it all into the actual jar. I also think we probably would have done better with one of the like spatulas that they give you for putting like frosting on the cupcakes, but that's okay. It works, and I am not complaining. I mean, we just got a jar of basically 1/6 scale peanut butter, like usable, spreadable, looks incredible. Ooh, I know. You know what I'm wondering? There's no way they made these things scented, right? Because that would be unreal. Oh my God. Okay, I can't say for sure that it smells like peanuts, but it doesn't smell bad. I almost feel like that's dangerous. Like, MGA, we already had one like recall of basically everything your brand makes. Please don't go making your pretend foods smell so good that kids are going to eat them, because that would be bad. That would be real. I don't want your stuff to get recalled again. All right, I am having a problem. I can't fit any more peanut butter into the jar. And look at this. I still have a good amount left over. And again, I'm not complaining. I'll find a way to make it work. But look at this. My jar is crammed completely full. There's not really even, I mean, there's a little bit of an air bubble right there, but I mean, we're talking minuscule. And I do not have any more room, and I still have this much peanut butter next to the jar. So I guess I'm going to have to make some toast or a sandwich or something, because I do believe that this will dry out if you don't have it in some kind of container. So I'm going to have to find like a little plastic or glass container to keep it in, because like obviously this isn't a resealable bag. For now, I'm going to tuck it in the plastic so that it doesn't dry out. Maybe I'll actually run a test with this. Maybe I'll take a small portion of it and leave it out overnight and see what happens. And then I can report back on Instagram to tell you guys, whether the peanut butter dries out if you just leave it out, because some kid somewhere is going to. Oh, before I move on to the next thing, let's have my girl come in here and show you what the jar of Jif looks like in size comparison to a fashion doll. Oh, I got it that time. I didn't let it fall. All right. Jif. Oh, I didn't bring any like grippy putty for her hands or anything. And my girl has been through it, so her hands are a little floppy. I think it's time for like some replacement hands. There we go. I got it. All right. So there she is holding the Jif. Awesome. Works great. All right. We have another jar, or can rather, of Pringles. This is the cheddar cheese, my least favorite flavor and or scent of chips. I feel like I'm being so negative, but like, I guess I'm a little bit picky about food. I'm neurodivergent and I've just got some sensory issues. Okay, so now this one, it looks like the lid is actually on for the most part. Let me see if it's, oh no, it's already kind of started. Like if you pull up the edge, it's definitely not hard to tear. Like I do think that they're all started. And then inside this one, let's see if the chips look any different. So here we have the cheddar Pringles, and I have the other Pringles right here next to us. So for comparison's sake, I'm going to grab one of those, and we're going to see if the different flavors actually look different. Oh, I think, guess what? Yes, they do. On the left, we have sour cream and onion, And on the right, we have cheddar. So even that level of attention, that is unreal. So very, very impressed. MGA, I've got nothing, no notes at all right now. I mean, seriously, like, my only note is please don't put these series out too close back to back, because I will be incredibly broke. Also, people, if you like these as much as I do, you better buy all of them, as many of them as you can, because for one, obviously we don't want to go through another recall situation where you can't get the ones you want later on down the line if they find out that this new kind of minis are like too dangerous, that kids are eating them or something. So if there are any you love, I don't want to be an alarmist, but buy them now, and store them, because someday you might not be able to buy them. We all know that, and how that worked out with, like, 40 something like different MGA products that you can't buy anymore, which is awful if you're a later collector or just a collector that wants, like, cereal that you can't get anymore because they don't make it. So anyway, the Pringles are awesome. Let me just, just because I got to be thorough, I'm going to smell them. Okay, nope. So all the products seem so far to have like a vaguely sweet kind of or nothingness scent, but they don't smell like chemicals or anything. They don't smell bad. So hopefully kids are not eating them. Okay, my girl, you can go chill again for just a moment until we're ready for you. And here we go. Our next product up are Eggo mini waffles, and these are the cinnamon toast ones that look like they are shaped like toast. And it says that we've got 2 in the box, and that seems to be accurate. So, let's check that out. Inside, it looks like we've got actual wraps, just like we have on real waffles, real Eggos. Come out, come out. Oh, here we go. All right. So we've got 8 mini waffles, 2 full-size ones that break up, and I do believe that they separate. I mean, they feel nice and soft. Now, you do have to cut this package to get into them. Like, it's not just folded over. Like, I wish that they were able to do the product where they've got, like, the little sticky strip, and then to get them out, you just unfold it, because usually you can kind of gently reseal those bags over and over. But no, this one, we are definitely going to have to cut it right here if we want to get the waffles out. I wish... Oh, you know what? I don't have my X-Acto, but I could just grab an X-Acto blade. Hang on one sec. They're right behind me. I will grab an X-Acto blade, and then I can open just the part of the package that I want to. Here we go. Even though I don't have my X-Acto stem, I'm just going to live on the wild side here. And I will take out an incredibly sharp blade. Once again, I can hear the emergency room person now. So I'm sorry, what were you doing when you sliced your finger open? Oh, just opening miniature ingredients and, put a blade right through my finger because I didn't have the whole X-Acto. I was just trying to use, the incredible scalpel to open it. So there we go. Again, nice clean cut, and I do like the fact that now I can slide the waffles back in there and put them back in the box. All right, so for science sake, here we go. We've got 4 waffle pieces, and just like in the real world, you can tear these apart. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I'm pulling pretty good. Does not look like you're going to be able to just pull them apart. So if, like me, you do want to actually be able to use these like you would on a breakfast plate, obviously, like any plastic, they seem to slice pretty nicely. I was able to go right through them with the X-Acto. But just so you know, it doesn't feel like they are going to separate easily. And I'm going to show you in just a second the connecting, I want to call it like connective tissue. Maybe that's because mine is faulty. But connective tissue here between the waffles is like pretty thick. Look, right there. And if you look at the seam, like that's not just going to tear apart. I mean, I can, sorry, knocking you guys all over the place. I can tear this pretty good, and I feel like I'm going to actually mess up. Look at that. I started to split the piece. So I'm not going to mess around with trying to tear it. Let's just say that you cannot tear these apart by hand, or at least they're not intended to be. but I mean, you could even use a small pair of scissors for this, if you don't have an X-Acto blade. But definitely you can tear them apart. And then let me show you our friend here. Where's my mini-me? Come on back on the scene. And here she is with the package of waffles. So there she is with the 4. And she could just have a snack on a single one. See if I can get her to turn her hand around. Holding one up. Can we do it? Yeah, there we go. There is a single quarter of an Eggo cinnamon toast waffle. So that is pretty awesome. I would say those are legit on a plate with some... Okay, guys, I am so sorry about that. Hang on, here we go. We are back in business. All right, it seems like I've got a charger that is actually working now. I am so sorry about that. And let us get back on track. I think I figured out what the problem was. The charger that I had plugged in, the cord doesn't work great, and the other charger that I had been plugged into from the beginning has a little switch on it where you can turn that charger block on and off, which I did not realize. Look at this thing. It's evil. Like, my husband got me like one of these charging blocks. It's got all the multi-ports, and it's got this little switch here, and the switch was turned off. So that whole time that I thought I was charging, I wasn't charging. So I'm very sorry about that, but let's make this thing happen. Anyway, so I think the last thing that I was showing you guys was just we did the waffles, the Eggo waffles. And so I did want to show you what the actual full-size box looks like. Now, the products inside were fantastic size-wise with our fashion doll, our 11-inch Rainbow High fashion doll. Before anybody asks, this is a custom poppy that was made for me by a very talented artist on Mercari. And if anybody wants me to find out his information, I will look it up and be happy to share it with you because he's super talented. But I don't remember off the top of my head just at this moment. Anyway, here she is with the full box of minis. And they're a little large. Again, this is kind of like a Costco size box if you were to be, in this 11-inch fashion doll world. So it's hard to get away with the full box size. But again, if this was like, on a shelf in the background of your kitchen and your doll was like making some breakfast, nobody would nitpick over the size of the Eggo box. And more importantly, the product inside works really well and is the correct size. So and thank you guys so much for those of you that hung on during my little disruption. I'm, again, very sorry that that happened, but let us take a look at the next product. And the next thing we've got is Good Humor Cookies and Cream. And I am dying to know what these popsicles look like. So let's check it out. All right, inside. Oh my God, it is exactly like the real thing. I would recognize these anywhere because, like I said, while the Oreo, well, they're not really, I don't think they're Oreo, they're just cookies and cream. I'm surprised that Good Humor hasn't connected with the brand that makes actual Oreo. But anyway, the real popsicles do come in these very nondescript white wrappers. I would know because I absolutely positively live off of the strawberry shortcake ones often when I'm having issues with being able to eat and tolerate foods from my POTS and my EDS and my chronic pain. I love me some frozen foods because for some reason they are like the only thing that doesn't make me horribly nauseous. So I've had months where like the only thing I eat and I'm not exaggerating, literal months on end. At one point I was eating like 5 or 6 strawberry shortcake bars a day, and that was the only food I was taking in. So, all right, and here we go. Oh, the popsicle comes out of the wrapper with a bite already taken out of it. How freaking perfect. Oh my God. That is so unbelievably adorable. There we go. Oh, and by the way, I used the extra time to try to clean my hands a little better. So while my phone was down and I was waiting to get it back online, hopefully I got more of the paint off. Although I guess I still missed a spot. But seriously, look at the detail. Oh my God. And even the ice cream inside has the little cookie crumbles. So, I have to give my girl a shot with the popsicle because this couldn't be any more like real life me. Oh my God. Look at it. These are so freaking cool. I had a feeling I was gonna. Oh, hey, I've been let down before. I've seen series like I was really excited when the Kawaii ones came out, and then like I hated that series. The size of everything was weird, and the products, like the items, were weird. I don't know, but this is a huge, huge hit. I am absolutely loving. If I could give thumbs up, but you know I can't. Not until I have custom hands made for my doll. But anyway, I would give it 2 thumbs up. So there we have it. Again, we've got one left in the second ball, and let's take a look. Here we have it. Speaking of that coffee, we've got Cafe Bustelo, Cafe Espresso, what does that say? Malado? Don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. I don't speak Spanish, and I'm assuming it is. But we've got really fine grain, which I think is sand. Hold on. Looks like cracked black pepper, doesn't it? Doesn't have that consistency, though. It's definitely heavier. I think we are definitely looking at colored sand. And then I'm going to take the lid off if I can figure it out. There we go. It just pops off. There's our can. And let's cut the corner off and pour it. See, now with this bag, I'm not worried about reusing it because I definitely would not want to put the powder back in the plastic. I'm going to just pour that in there. It's really lightweight. And yeah, definitely pours like sand. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see that. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it to catch the light like it was. Let me see if I can pour it really close up. Maybe you can see what I'm talking about when it shimmers like sand does when it catches the light. It's a little hard to get it. But you can see those like flecks that are a little bit lighter color than the other ones. So yeah, I definitely think that we were working with colored sand, just like you'd see in those like art kits. But in this case, it was colored like a black kind of brown color to look like espresso. And I think it was really accurate. I think they did a great job. Now, obviously, if you were to mix this with a liquid, it's not going to do anything. I'm assuming that it would sink to the bottom of your glass. Again, maybe I'll do a short and I'll try it just to see what happens. But I don't think that this is going to color your water. I mean, obviously it's not going to make coffee, but I don't think it would even color your water because I think it's just sand. So in that case, it would just sink to the bottom. And here she is with her slightly bigger than it should be container of coffee grounds. And again, it just looks like my girl goes to Costco for all her groceries. Maybe I can have her hold it kind of up against her body. There we go. There we go. Look at that. She's being a lovely model. I do need to get this shirt altered a little bit because it keeps wanting to ride down on her, though. Sorry about that. Don't want to have any wardrobe malfunctions, not even on my mini-me. And there we have it, though. There's the coffee. And I think it looks fantastic, and it's a very good size. All right. Motoring right along, we've got another ball and another set of new products. Now, obviously, if I run into any doubles, the whole ball is going to be a double, as I explained earlier in the thread. So we are not going to obviously mess with that. We're just going to keep going. Same thing with the Pringles. I'm just going to show you the color of them compared to the other ones. We don't need to do the whole size and get too into the container. I do think these might be the same color as another one that we already opened. So hang on. And of course, I'm dropping them on the floor. Don't worry about it. I will pour out another one and I will chase that one down later. Let me grab the sour cream and onion Pringles. Okay, sour cream and onion was really, really light colored. And then the cheddar cheese Pringles that we opened second were a little bit yellowy. So show you those side by side again. Here we go. We've got sour cream and onion, cheddar, and now here is the third one. Show you really up close. There is a slight difference. That third one is more of a the Texas barbecue. That's going to be this one on this side, and it's a little tiny bit paler of a yellow. I don't know if you can really quite see that even with the close up. It is different. It's just very, very barely different. If you're looking for like flex or, very like anything more detailed than that, they did not do that. But, still a good product. Looks like the real deal. And the size of the can is big, but the size of the product is great. Next thing that we have got, I'm sure you guys probably saw in the back, we've got another ice cream scoop, and we have our first container of Breyers, and in it we have chocolate. And this is absolutely 100% a thick, kind of fluffy kinetic sand. And that's okay, because as we noticed earlier with the Talenti, this product works really, really good for frozen items. So let's check it out. It's a little light colored. I mean, chocolate ice cream, can vary a little bit, but it is a little bit light colored in my opinion. I mean, even just not that product photos on products especially are a good representation, but you can tell that it's definitely light in color. And it does look like this package is the right size to fit everything in there. Got a nice flat half gallon of ice cream. Of course, I'm old. I don't think it's actually even a half gallon anymore. One more time. There's the Breyers container. Back. And Breyers, always touts itself on like all natural ingredients. Their ice cream has like 5 ingredients only in some of them. And here we go with having the scoop. Let's see if we can show that close up. Come on, focus on the Breyers. Oh, what is it looking at back there? Why can't I get this to zoom? Come on, camera. Wow, it really does not want to. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Now we're focused in. So, yeah, that looks pretty legit. I mean, very legit. Yeah, absolutely. That is a fantastic. They really nailed it with the ice cream. Definitely did. I'm sure that they played around with the consistency of like the kinetic sand to make sure they got the real deal. But that, my friends, that was a fantastic, realistic looking ice cream miniature. Again, no notes. Fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, we haven't seen the Breyers yet with my girly, so let's bring her in. I think you might laugh at this one. This might be the first container size that looks legitimately a bit absurd. But, yep, it is pretty sizable. Man, I'm gonna have to go change her into a t-shirt just so she's not having issues here. Girly, plant your feet firmly. I know the camera's up a little high, so maybe that's the problem why we keep looking down her shirt, but still. Here is the Breyers container, and it is definitely chunky. It is definitely oversized in my girl's hands. But, again, I'm not complaining. If somebody gave me a container of ice cream that was like roughly the size of my head, I would be okay with it. And then very next, we'll show you the box before we open it. Here we go. We've got Uncrustables. And again, I know, call me weird, but I am just not into peanut butter and jelly. I do make a lot of them, though, because my son loves them. So we definitely have some Smucker's Uncrustables here. My husband doesn't really, he's not picky about anything that I buy. I mean, obviously, hold on, ready? Obviously, folks, like, seriously, my husband, even the Wicked Dolls are up there. They're back there. But, yeah, my husband does not complain about the things that I buy. But when it comes to stuff like food, when it comes to something like Uncrustables, where we're talking about legit a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that is just in the wrapper and, has the crusts cut off. And so it's like round. Really? Yeah, that is something he would actually be like, are you crazy? Don't buy that. That's so ridiculously expensive. Like, unless they're on sale or we are on a trip, like a road trip, and we're stopping at a convenience store, then you buy an Uncrustable. But pretty much any other time, this is a ridiculous purchase as far as I'm concerned. Especially if I was a peanut butter and jelly lover. Like, wouldn't you want like a whole sandwich? You could make a whole loaf of bread worth of sandwiches with a jar of peanut butter and a jar of jam. And you could probably like buy, all of that for the price of like one Uncrustable. But there you go. That's what the packages look like. I have seen them before and they look really legit. So let us slice one of these babies open. And I'm trying to just cut through the back layer so I can continue to make the pattern look nice from the front. And let's lift this Uncrustable. See, and now I could, if I needed to, put a little piece of tape back on the back of that, and nobody would ever be able to tell that it was open. And here is the sandwich. Now, you probably, like me, are thinking, but what's in there? Do we have peanut butter and jelly? Or is this not meant to open? Because I tell you what, I am going to need to cut this thing in half. Absolutely positively right now. And I tell you what, if there's a peanut butter and or jelly color on the inside of this thing, I might cry from joy. Like legitimately, like tears of joy. And here we go with the product size, because holy crap, that looks amazing. My girl with an Uncrustable. Oh my word. All right. And then here, let us see what happens. Science project time. Here we go. If you guys are Evan and Caitlin fans, this is science adjacent. Here we go. And let's cut our Uncrustable. It definitely feels squishy. Now, you would not be able to do this just, like you couldn't just bend it in half and break it. You definitely would need a knife of some sort. But here we go. Okay, I think we have our answer. Now, the good news is that if I wanted to, I could make this happen. But the sad news is, oh, it looks like cheese on the inside. Our Uncrustable just looks like a doughy dough ball mess. And that is sad. However, I'm getting a brilliant idea. Hold on. Remember that extra peanut butter we had a minute ago? Oh my gosh. Somebody else had to have thought of this, right? I'm not completely unique in thinking that we could just pretend like, where did that peanut butter go? There's definitely, here it is. A little bit of extra peanut butter. And surely, before this is all said and done, we will have a jar of jelly. So what if we took just a little bit of the peanut butter and we take this Uncrustable. This might just be a crazy, crazy thought. But what if we... Oh, yeah, look at that. Ready? Look at the peanut butter. It's like oozing out of my Uncrustable. Look at that. Peanut butter in my Uncrustable sandwich that I just cut open. Oh my God. That is so stinking cool. Now my girl can have an Uncrustable because I feel like that is an awesome freaking miniature. So damn cool. So freaking cool. That was probably the most exciting thing I've seen so far. So now we know that if you want to use some of your Uncrustables and you want to cut them open, if you were even going to take a little extra time, you could hollow out a little bit of the Uncrustable with an X-Acto blade. I mean, obviously, very, very careful. And obviously, this channel is for adults only. So I'm talking to adult crafters specifically, because little kids, you will absolutely take your hand off, take your fingers off if you are cutting open teeny tiny things like miniatures with an extremely sharp craft knife. Don't do that. This is not a channel for kids for that exact reason. So if I'm encouraging you to check things out and try them out with a craft knife, it's because you are the adult that bought this product and you are the adult that can take the risks with your own fingers. And be careful and, get your X-Acto knife out. And I think that you should totally, sorry, I dropped my Pringles. I'm putting them back in the container. But I think you could definitely use the peanut butter and jelly, and you could make your Uncrustables look even that much more realistic. And no, I don't blame MGA for not putting them, because they obviously didn't mean for you to open the Uncrustable. I do have to say that one of the coolest things about this, let me see if I can show you, the outside of the Uncrustable, it feels really soft, flexible. There you go. You can see how hold on. You can see how it's like bending. Even though the inside is really, really firm. And and looks, like cheese all the way through, except for the peanut butter that I just put in there. Oop, and that fast, the peanut butter comes right back out. But the inside looks like a solid, but somehow they made the outer layer feel realistic. Like you can stretch it and you feel like there would be something on the inside that's like a different texture. So that's incredible. All right, this is the one that had got me confused. I saw this the other day. This was the first capsule that I had actually taken the outer wrapper off of, but I didn't get anywhere past that. And I will admit that I opened it at a traffic light because I was that anxious to see the first few of these. And I can't figure, is this thing supposed to open? Like, I feel like you'd have to tear the sticker off, right? So, like, does this thing actually open? And like, am I going to ruin the sticker? Because, like, there's this little tab here. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to pull it. All right, let me look at this closer to me and not in front of the camera. Okay, now look, I am able to gently peel the sticker off. And I'm doing this for science sake, folks, because it's definitely possible that you're not supposed to do this. And I am doing it anyway. So let me ruin my miniature and not you ruin yours. Hold your horses. Oh no. Here we go. All right, I got the sticker off and I did so without removing it. It's still super, super sticky. I'm going to put it on the edge of the ball here. So it's stuck on there, but it's not getting ruined. And now I've got this. And I'm not really sure. Am I meant to open this in any way? Or am I just crazy and this product was never meant to be taken apart? Oh, wait. It opens. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Look at the size of those cheeses. Oh my God, look at this thing. It is literally just barely bigger than my thumbnail. Holy crap. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. That is the coolest thing I have ever freaking seen. Unbelievable. All right. That I can't believe it. I'm like almost speechless. You ready for this? I literally need to use my X-Acto to like get one of these out of here. Oh my God, look at that. Holy shit. I'm so sorry. Look at this. Remember earlier when I said I was going to like legit cry? This is unfreaking real. Look at this damn thing. All right. Even though I've got nails, they're acrylic, and so I can't get the thing open without help. Oh, good God. There is, I mean, I want to say another layer, but like legit, there's another layer. Like you're supposed to take off the sticker, open the plastic packaging, unwrap the little triangle of cheese, because inside of all of it, inside of all of those layers, is a tiny freaking piece of cheese. Holy shit, guys. That is so cool. I can't believe it. I am like completely stupefied. You ready for this? Okay, there we have it. Open. And here is me. I know. I'm way happier than I look in this moment. You have no idea. Like, this is so worth doing on a live stream, even though I'm freaking exhausted from 3 days of like hardcore physical labor putting up Halloween decorations. This is so worth it. And look at this little freaking snack size bite of cheese. You ready? Holy shit. That's unbelievable. That is unreal. It's like, oh, would you like a snack? Look at it. Look at the size of that. I mean, you could legit use that piece of cheese. Like if you had a 1/12 scale dollhouse and you needed like a piece of cheese for your kitchen counter, you could make a charcuterie board with that. But if you have a fashion doll, this is a single serving, like a little bit of cheese, and it's actually the right size. It's actually a realistic size. I I want to bow down. I want to do that whole thing that they did, where you bow down and we're not worthy. I know, such a reference because like that's completely my age range, but for real, like there's a reason that Wayne's World went so hard with the we're not worthy. That is unbelievable. MGA, I bow down to you. I applaud you. Tiny fucking cheese. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Mini brands could never. Zero, this is a challenge to you that if you are going to want our money and you want us to buy more balls that don't say Miniverse and you want us to do your mini brands, you got to step it up because we mini collectors, we're done. We're not doing this anymore where we just put up with empty fucking cardboard boxes. 5 empty cardboard boxes, little tiny flat products with nothing in them for the same price, folks. The same price. The mini brands and the Miniverse are the same price. And I just opened this ungodly small wrapper and got out that ungodly small piece of cheese. And it wasn't like, oh, you get one cute little piece of cheese. No, you don't. You get the entire thing that I had to peel the sticker off of that I didn't even know. I'm like, oh no, maybe that's the whole thing. That's all you get. And look at it. It's got, oh my God, I didn't even show you the logo side. But like, you peel the sticker off and you've got this little thing and it's like, oh, how cute, a little piece of cheese, container that you can put in your doll's refrigerator. And then nope, that's not good enough. We're not doing that. And even though I thought I was a crazy person trying to pry this thing open because I'm like, clearly a company would not be so ridiculous as to put, teeny tiny miniature. Oh, but they would. They did. They absolutely did. And look at those and how freaking perfect they are. Okay. All right. I know we're going to be here for 3 hours if I go on about every single item like that, but holy crap. And last but not least, in that third ball, and I will do the checklist in just a minute so we can see where we're at. But here are Klondike bars, ice cream sandwiches. I am so excited about these minis and yet so negative about food because can you believe it? I don't like ice cream sandwiches either. My husband calls me picky and I'm always like, I'm not picky. I eat like anything. I think I've been lying to him for like our whole lives. We've been best friends since we were like 14 and we're 40 something now because we're old. And oh my God, this whole time I think I've been lying to him. I think I am picky. Anyway, here are the Klondike bars. Oh, but don't tell him I said that. Please, promise. We've got to be on a level here because he can't know when he's right about things because his head just, it can't get any bigger. He already can't find hats that fit. The man does not need to be told that he's right and I'm wrong about something. Anyway, Klondike bars. We've got 2 of them, 2 of the fancy ice cream bars. My mom used to buy these all the time when I was a kid. I literally grew up eating Klondike bars, especially the chocolate covered ones. Oh, they were legit. I do like Klondike bars. I don't really like ice cream bars, but I do like most Klondike bars. So maybe I would like these better than, traditional. I mean, they do look like regular ice cream sandwiches, but Klondike makes some pretty legit products. So where did my knife go? Okay, here we go. I'm so sorry. Losing my stuff without moving or getting up. Here we go. Let's open our ice cream sandwich. And this is what we've got. If I can ever get it out. There we go. All right, we've got an ice cream sandwich. And it looks exactly like it did in the project, in the package. Oh my God, I can't talk. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, right? What time is it? At least where I am, it's like 10 minutes to 1. And normally I'm a night owl and this is a great time of day. But after like 3 days of exhausting labor and back pain, I'm tired and I can barely talk. And I'm so excited about these minis. I don't even care. I'm going to open them anyway. So nothing really special. It's just a solid piece. There's no real good texture. It's slightly flexible. Not really anything realistic about it. So probably one of my least favorites that we've opened so far. I mean, as far as looking good and whatever, I mean, it doesn't have the bite taken out of it like the popsicle. I kind of feel like I would have liked that. But it does look like the real thing in miniature. There's a little bit of a dent in mine or something. Yeah, whatever. Looks like the real deal though. And so, who cares if it's, perfect or awesome or tears apart or has a bite out of it or whatever. And then let's show you the Klondike bar in my girlie's hands. There you have it. 1 Klondike bar ice cream sandwich. Have her hold it up so you can see. And that would be delicious. Love, love, love it. All right. And I'm not messing with these products. I'm not messing with closing them up because I can do all of that off camera later. All right. I've got 5 balls that I opened, and then we're going to do the checklist, see where we're caught up, and then see how many more of these things we can open tonight, because maybe I'm going to have to do more tomorrow. Like, I feel like I'm not going to get through them all tonight, because as we know, at the beginning of the stream, I found that there was 55 products. And we've got Twinkies. Oh God, I was so excited about those. In this one, we've got Pop-Tarts. Although, what kind of strange person gets Pop-Tarts with no icing on them? Ew, gross. Yuck. I don't even know why they would make those. I do love Pop-Tarts though, so I'm not just yucking food. But seriously, plain Pop-Tarts? Do any of you eat plain Pop-Tarts? I don't believe you. Even if you say that you do, I don't believe it. All right, we've got Cheez-It Originals, which I die for. Those are my favorite. We have Planters Peanuts, which I can't eat because of my dental problems, but I never really liked peanuts anyway, hence my not liking peanut butter. And then more Breyers ice cream. All right, let's do the Breyers one really quickly, since we already know how incredible the chocolate looks. And guys, of course, we get the scoop again. And, oh, I didn't actually put the scoop in my mini girl's hand, so I will bring her on screen, and we will give her the ice cream scoop while I do the actual scooping here to get the product in. Hang on. Sorry, my girl was helping me film the last of my Lord of the Rings thing, because I just got the Lord of the Rings ultra rare and the rare, ultra rare, and limited edition, so that I could finish that stupid video from forever ago. I did do a ton of research because I know nothing about Lord of the Rings, so hopefully you guys think it's a pretty fun video. And I got a lot of American Girl content coming up that I've been working really hard on, because as you could see earlier in my little clip, I have like 400 or so. Every American Girl doll the company has ever made, I have one, except for prototypes. So, Johnny's got me beat there, but I do have at least one of every doll I've ever made. So, this is what the cookies and cream looks like, which, again, phenomenal. Look at this. Look at that. I'm getting hungry. Like, that's how good this ice cream looks. So freaking good. All right, and I don't believe that we had any problem fitting the other ice cream into its container. But if we had some fancy dessert dishes, we could give everybody some scoops of ice cream. And so there it is, out of the container, out of the package and into the container. And my girl is going to model for you what it looks like to have a giant container of ice cream. Yep, I was like, there's no way that's gonna last. I should have gotten my modeling putty out, but again, this video is kind of last minute. There she goes. Look at that. We've got the Breyers and the ice cream scoop. So, you guys, we are making this work. All right. Now, let me move her over again. That's all we're going to do with the Breyers. And after this, again, I'll just dump the ice cream into the container. I don't have to, go through and show you everything. All right, Pop-Tarts. Let's make it happen. We have not seen Pop-Tarts yet. As a matter of fact, everything in this package, we haven't seen, other than the ice cream, we haven't seen any related. Okay, so the only thing I've seen different so far from these products to real life products are that obviously these Miniverse ones are bigger, like the way that they have all this extra plastic at either side. A real Pop-Tart wrapper is exactly the size of the Pop-Tart. So realistically, if you were opening a real Pop-Tart box, your Pop-Tart would look like that. And I know because my good friend Mike McCormick, who I went to high school with, who was in the band Drive Through Pharmacy, who I just saw play their 25-year reunion at a bar in Philly a week ago. Mike McCormick was one of my best friends all through high school and all the way back to middle school. And he used to bring 2 Pop-Tarts for breakfast every day to school. And we would stand in the hallway before homeroom, and he would open his Pop-Tarts, and inevitably he would eat one hot fudge or strawberry, sometimes hot fudge sundae or strawberry, but frosted, because only monsters eat the non-frosted. Oh my gosh, look. There is the one I was just talking about, the hot fudge sundae on the back of the box. There's a picture of it. That's what he would bring to school every single morning. He would open the package. There was 2 in each pack because that's the way they're packaged from the company. I doubt we're going to see that here. There's probably just going to be 1 in here. But he could only eat 1 of them. So every single day he gave me his leftover Pop-Tart, and I was a happy camper to start my day off with that sugary goodness. So here we go. Got one more. There it is. Now, if that doesn't look exactly like a legit Pop-Tart. Now, because I am not a monster and I am not an animal, I'm going to frost that with some strawberry frosting tomorrow because I just can't stand the idea of a naked Pop-Tart. But I can stand the idea of Pop-Tarts coming from MGA that are the exact right size to go with our fashion dolls because that is awesome. You can't argue it. That's freaking awesome. And obviously, of course, I don't believe that there's any fruit filling inside, but I am going to once again do some science adjacent work here. Let's do an investigation and find out what happens if actually, you know what? Maybe we should cut a bite out of the corner instead of cutting it in half because most people don't cut their Pop-Tarts in half. But everyone I know cuts the corner off of their Pop-Tart. So that is looking really legit. And then what I can do is put some jam in there. Not realistically, of course, but I can make it look like there's some jam in there. Whether I use UV resin or acrylic paint markers or whatever. But we can definitely make that happen. So tomorrow, my Pop-Tarts will be frosted. And then we can put those right back in the box so we don't lose them. And let's see what else. Next is the can of peanuts. And I think I saw a picture of these online. Oh, now once again, they do have this, freshness seal or whatever. But that's what happens when you turn it around. It's not actually sealed. So let's find out what this mystery substance is. Because now on a, human, IDing it by eye, they don't look like peanuts to me. Is it just me or do they look like pumpkin seeds? Or are they pumpkin seeds? Hang on. Nope. Cocktail peanuts. I don't think they look like peanuts. If they do, they're horribly undercooked because peanuts are not supposed to be that bleached white. I think this one might have been a miss. I don't know what. Let me find out what these products actually are. I don't think it says anywhere, probably for like proprietary reasons or whatever. Proprietary? Yeah, I think that's the word. Here we go. Here are the individual little peanut bits. And I guess if you were to crush some of those up, you could add them to your peanut butter that we got earlier. And I'm going to keep, so basically the freshness seals are in the products, but they're not actually attached. So when you open the products, all of them appear to be, slightly peeled back just to make it easier to access your stuff. All right, here we go, your product in there. Next thing we've got is our Hostess Twinkies. And again, it looks like we've got two. Basically, that's what we've had on everything is just two of them. And what is in here? Come on, come on. Unreal. They are stuck. Stuck. Here we are. And here is our Twinkie. It is individually wrapped. I think this one's actually pretty legit because if I remember correctly, the Hostess products are in wrappers that are like decently 2 sizes big for them, like all the way around. So, all right, let's open this puppy up and see what our little Hostess tasty cake looks like and see how the size goes with our mini-me because it looks incredibly awesome. And let's see what she thinks. Not a taste test, but it's a size test anyway. And here we have it. Perfect. Like, perfect. Look at that. That, my friends, is a Twinkie. What else can I say? That's a Twinkie. And my mom has this story about how she had she had had a Twinkie and she offered it to her sister and it sat around for a really long time and she didn't know that her sister had opened the package. She thought that she had just like not eaten it and sat it aside. So she thought it was still sealed and fresh. And at some point she like tore open the end of the package to like, she basically like tore open this end and took the Twinkie out and went to bite it. And only after she bit into it and found that it was like ungodly stale and like disgusting. Thankfully, she didn't bite far enough to get to the cream. Only then did she realize that like the bottom of the package wasn't sealed because her younger sister, had opened the other end of it. Anyway, she's like been traumatized by Twinkies. And so when I was a kid, she never really bought them. And when I inquired as to why, that was, I got to hear about her Twinkie trauma and how she once bit into one that was like, if you ask her, she would tell you it was rancid. All right. So I am going to, well, should I do this? Should I have like carve a bite out of it? I guess I'm going to do that. I don't know how well I'm going to do, but it's definitely soft enough. And you could easily, with an X-Acto knife, kind of cut a bite out. And obviously you're not going to find any cream in there, but it would certainly be easy enough. Oh my God. Talk about attention to detail. I just freaking noticed there is little cream things on the bottom. Holy crap. All right. That, again, unreal. The only thing that would impress me more is if I had cut this open and like there had actually been a cream center through it. But like, holy crap. All right. Twinkies, big hit, massive hit. They did a great job. What is your favorite so far, guys? What are you thinking? Do you guys have any favorites from the ones you've seen so far? Because I have my thoughts at the end. I will tell you guys what I think was the best one, but ready for this? Cheez-Its. I am so excited by these because I love Cheez-Its. These are like an entire food group as far as I'm concerned. And here we have it. Ready? Give my girl a box of Cheez-Its. As I have often said in life, I just want a box of Cheez-Its like the size of my head. And there you have it. She does indeed. And it's pretty legit sized. I mean, it's like actually the right size. Maybe a little big. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, Rainbow High Dolls obviously have like these incredibly big heads. But that looks really freaking cute, doesn't it? So good. All right. Let's find out. Oh no, for just a second I panicked because look, I opened it and for just a second I didn't see anything. And then I was like, oh, wait, there is a package in there. Never fret. It's just like the real deal at the store. You open the package and it's like 70% air. Oh my God. I just recently made a silicone mold to make resin Cheez-Its. And they came out horribly because they are so freaking tiny. And I'm so thrilled that now I can make a new mold with these as my unit of measurement. And that way I can make a billion Cheez-Its. A massive quantity of Cheez-Its. But yeah, so those look great. And I am going to open the package real quick so that you can see what the Cheez-Its look like when they are dumped out. And I will, in a short probably, compare these to what my custom ones look like. Now, my custom ones had salt crystals on them that were visible, but I legit think that you could absolutely do that. You could add, I mean, you could even use real salt and like the tiniest bit of clear resin to make those look unbelievably realistic. Fan freaking tastic MGA. You have done it once again. The size of the Cheez-Its in a doll's hand. Look at that. Can you see it? Hold on. Because these are so itty bitty teeny tiny. I'm going to have to really show you. Hang on. Ready? See if I can even get it to zoom in or focus. There we go. She's like, hi, would you like a Cheez-It? They're so good. Because they are so damn good. I am blown away. Absolutely blown away. And I'm like running out of words to say about how excited I am about these damn tiny products. Because, like, for real, I've dreamed of these products like ever since the first mini brands came out, I was like, oh my God, if only they had product inside of them, if only. And I was like, yeah, but that's insane because that would be a lot of work. And like molds for even tiny things are not inexpensive. And like no company would ever do that. They wouldn't be they wouldn't be able to afford to do it. And there's a reason that like, custom makers of miniatures. I mean, like me, I was making like custom miniature items, and occasionally I will do like requested items by people, but holy crap, like the time it takes me to make like a teeny tiny, like one bag and a hand pouring with like this tiny little dropper bottle, all the tiny little individual Cheez-Its, and then making sure that each one comes out properly, and then having to take an item this size and like sanding them on all sides to make sure that they look good, and then putting them in the bag. It's like by the time you're done, me as a, solo artist, I've made one bag of Cheez-Its, and then I still have to print out the box. Like I have to print out the box on cardboard, and I have to fold it and glue it together. Well, by the time I'm done, I have spent like an entire day making like 6 boxes of Cheez-Its. So like, yeah, I mean, even if I charge way less than like a reasonable hourly rate, like you would have to pay me like $24 probably to make a box of Cheez-Its the size for like an 11-inch fashion doll. Like, and not because I'm being greedy, but just like realistically, I feel like that would be minimum wage. Like, for real. I think it would be, because that's a lot of work. So, all right, here we go. Let us move on to the next thing while I'm raving and raging about how freaking awesome these things are. And I'm excited because this is the last ball that I had already, again, I hadn't really looked at any of these products close up, but I did have the wrappers taken off because I was at a red light. Well, I was at more than one red light, and I was trying to like get a quick glimpse of what was in the ball, without actually taking any of the product and looking at them too closely, because I wanted to be surprised on stream for you guys. But I couldn't. I'm too ADHD. I needed that adrenaline and all of that, like those good happy hormones desperately, because it has been a rough week. We've had a family funeral. I am overworked and overtired, and my son is doing ADHD trial meds, so he is cranky and moody, more so than a regular teenager, which, if that's impossible to believe, trust me, it's crazy. I'm happy for him because he's happier, but trying out a new medication, even if overall it seems to be overwhelmingly going well, every night when the medication like wears out of his system, oof, yeah, it's hard. It's a hard adjustment for everyone. All right, let's check this out. We've got Hostess mini donuts, and my younger son loves these. My father, so my son's grandfather, he buys these and keeps them around, not very long, but he shares them with my son all the time. And this is going to be our powdered sugar mini donuts, which, no jokes, I don't want to hear it. Yes, I used to be in law enforcement, but I did not like donuts. Ironically, my first job ever was actually working at a Dunkin' Donuts. So I went full circle. I went from Dunkin' at 14 to being a full-time law enforcement officer by 24. So, yep, I went full circle on the donuts. But there you go. There you have your Hostess powdered sugar mini donuts. And of course, I still can't not open the bag and take a close-up look at one of these, because once again, these things are so unbelievably realistic. And the size of them is perfect, because remember, these aren't regular donuts. These are mini donuts. And I do feel like it would have been cool if they, left powdered sugar everywhere like actual mini donuts do. But, at some point, you're a little too real with the realism. And I get it. Most people probably don't want like, dust all over their fingers. So there we have it. There is the teeny tiny single Hostess mini powdered sugar donut. And no complaints, no notes. I literally couldn't say anything. I mean, the whole of the donut isn't really open, so it looks a little weird. But you know what? It does look like the real mini donuts. Like, that's what the real deal looks like. And I think you would actually need like 5 or 6 bags to like fill up this bag the way it would really look in the store. But if you put it back in the plastic and put it in there, it definitely looks like it belongs on a supermarket shelf because the bag looks nice and full. So hang on one sec. Put the donuts away and show you what I mean. Like, yeah, you can see them through the window. And so when you fold them closed, like they're going to look like the real deal. So there you go. All right. There's the mini donuts. And in this one, we've got a couple that are, I don't think these are repeats, are they? Hang on. Oh, wait. They are. We have our very first repeat. So wait a second. Does this mean I could have sworn that the items were like, you get this 5 in one ball and this 5 in another ball, but I guess maybe the way it works out, maybe there are some duplicates because we don't have to open these Rice Krispie treats. They are the exact same ones that we got before. And then I know this one is not a repeat though. We've got our Concord grape jelly, and we can actually find out what substance this is because it is squishy looking and sticky looking, and I want to know if it's actually sticky or not. Now, I have a feeling that it's going to be like the peanut butter, and it's probably going to be some sort of, oh, that is a good slime. That is this kind of slime that does not stick to your fingers. It doesn't get all over your hands. And when it's inside of a package or whatever, look at that. It just sticks to itself. So you can pull it right out. Now, I don't feel like you can really like squeeze it out of the package. Like it's not good at that. Look at this. Ready? Oh my God, you'd like break your fingers trying to get that out. No, can't do it that way. So what I'm going to show you guys, you definitely 100%, you want to peel the package open, like fully. There's no saving this one. And then you want to just peel your product out because it does get caught in the corners. It does get stuck in there, but it's not going to stick to your fingers. And it's stretchy, but like it's more like a putty. It doesn't like coat everything. It's not drippy like real slime, like, would like drip between your fingers or whatever. But this is much more solid than that. This is much more of like a putty. I feel like I've played with something that was like this consistency before, but I don't know. I just can't think of it right now. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? Those really high quality, like the thinking putty. It's much more like that. It's much more like thinking putty. I guess that's why I kept going back to thinking that it was like, that it reminded me of some sort of like silly putty or whatever. Because it reminds me of that expensive thinking putty that you always see like the little gift packs at Christmas and stuff. I think they sell it at Target. They used to have it at all these like really sciencey like stores or whatever in the mall that would come up at like Christmas time, and they would always sell the like the tins with the thinking putty in it. They had ones that were like magnetic and ones that would change color with like the heat of your hands or whatever. That's the consistency of kind of what this feels like, is like that thinking putty. It is a little bit stickier. It's definitely a little stickier than the peanut butter. Maybe that's because the peanut butter has those crumbs in it. I'm trying to get it all into the jelly jar, and it definitely is hard because like obviously there's no air. Like it's too thick that you can't get air in around it. So I don't recommend that you try to shove down like the whole thing in there. I'm double checking the smell. I keep getting like a whiff of something sweet, but I'm telling you, it's that hot chocolate candle that I'm sitting over top of. And like, I'm not really sure. Oh, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use my own tweezer tool, the back of my tweezer. Now, the problem is if I push it down with my tweezer, it's like going to pull it back up too. But like, you got to do something because I can't get that in there. All right. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I just don't think there's enough room in the peanut butter and jelly jars for anybody to put all of the product in there. And you know what? That's okay. Like, who's going to complain about getting extra product for real? But yeah, I think in the case of the peanut butter and jelly, it's also like right about the same size of like extraness. But, if you're a core fanatic, you can see that there's, kind of a little bit of empty room in the jar still. Anyway, so yep, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the peanut butter. I'm going to put the excess jelly back in the plastic and at least fold it over. Try to keep it from drying out. And there we have it, folks. All right, so, oh, I didn't show you the size of the jar. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Come on, my girl. Where is the jelly jar? I just put it down 2 seconds ago. And then here we go. I will give her both so you can see them side by side. She's not going to be able to hold them up, but here we go. Here we've got the Jif peanut butter and the Smucker's Concord grape. Pretty good. All right. Yeah. Yep. You definitely make sandwiches. Now we just need a loaf of white bread and we can make some classic sandwiches. All right. We got it, guys. Let us real quick check off this checklist and I will see how far we got tonight. And then maybe we will open like 2 more balls because I think that realistically we could be here for like 6 hours with me raving over these things. All right. So let's see. I wonder if some of them are more rare than others. Oh, I wonder if they're going to come up with like rares and ultra rares. Anyway, they're not on the checklist for now. So we've got, did we see grape jelly? Yeah, we got the grape jelly. We did not see the strawberry jelly, correct? No, we didn't. Okay. Jif peanut butter, we got the crunchy. I'm going to check that one off. We saw the French toast waffles. Got the plain strawberry Pop-Tarts, the naked ones. See? Even though they're naked, they're hiding behind the box. All right, we got the coffee, the espresso coffee grounds. Well, espresso grounds. We got the mini donuts. And we got the Twinkies, too. So we haven't seen the cupcakes or the snowballs yet. We got Rice Krispie treats, and we got 2 of those. I love how it says new next to it. As if all of the products aren't new. I mean, like, I guess they're supposed to be making this look like it's, you know, like for grocery shopping or whatever. But whatever. So here we go. Rice Krispie treats. And then we saw the Uncrustables. We only had 1 flavor, and it was the purple ones. I think they're like grape or mixed berry or something. I don't know. What are they? Right there. What is that one? Peanut butter and grape jelly sandwiches. All right. And next we've got our Cheez-Its that we took a look at. And we've had 3 containers of the Pringles. This one was the Texas barbecue. I think that's the dark one in the. I'm sorry, I'm red green deficient, so I have a hard time with my colors and like I can't really see the name. Oh, okay, yeah, that is the Texas one. All right, and then we've got sour cream and onion, which is the lighter one. So that one's there. And the other one we had was the yellow, right? Correct. So that's that one. Oh, so we're only missing the original and whatever those are. Salt and vinegar or unsalted. Yeah, I think those are salt and vinegar, which I love salt and vinegar. I love vinegar. I am all about like vinegary coleslaw and like different pasta salads. All right. And we saw the Planters peanuts. Didn't love those, but whatever. We saw them. Spam. Again, like, why does that say mini? They're all mini, like, obviously. I think that's kind of silly. All right, so we got the bacon spam. Wow, we've been getting, like really opening these, like, evenly. Oh, I did miss a product. How did I do that? I missed that one. We didn't open that yet. All right, hold on a second, folks. I was going to say I saw it when it came out of the container, but I didn't open it. All right, so I'm going to check this off even though we haven't opened it yet. But, you know, it's right there. So we'll open it in a second. And over here, Baby Bell, we had, let's see, it's original and light. And the red, right? Those are red. I believe Baby Bell's red and blue. So we've had one of them. We've had the original, I believe. That was the one I was freaking out about with the tiny triangles inside of it. I'm trying to find the last. I'm confident, though. That was the one. And we also had the mesh net with the light blue. So those right there. And we had some Breyers. We've got chocolate and cookies and cream. Chocolate and cookies and cream. And then we've got the Talenti, the like raspberry one. Which, oh my gosh, I could totally go for that right now. I've been like living on water ice because Rita's is going to close for the season and I'm heartbroken. All right, we've got the Klondike bars that are just ice cream sandwiches. We've got the, we had those, right? The Good Humor bars. Yeah, that was the one that had the bite taken out of it that looked so good. The cookies and cream one. That one, we don't have the creamsicle ones yet. And then the last row, we haven't opened any of the popsicles yet. So we are currently missing, a few from each row. I'm going to open this one to check out. It looks like it's that like gravelly sand that they used in the aquariums. It's just going to be looking like raw, uncooked like turkey. So I think that's what it is, ground turkey. Let's get this one open. It's not really sealed. Already we've got one little chunk. And then, yeah, definitely sand. Definitely sand. Oh, and it's not even like really well adhered sand. It's not like super well adhered to itself. It feels like I'm going to make a big mess pouring this out. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, we are making a huge mess. Look at the sand all over my table. All right. So now we know, we've been warned. The turkey is not moist. Oh, sorry. I know how people feel about that word, but it's not whatever you want to call it. Oh, look, it isn't even sticking to itself. I mean, that's fine for like, the context of making miniature recipes or whatever, but I feel like as soon as you start to play with it, I don't know, like I don't feel like it looks like ground turkey. I don't know. It just looks like sand, like beach sand. But I get what they were going for. And in the package, you cannot argue because it definitely looks like the real deal in the package. And that makes me think that if I've got, I've got a printer, I could do packaging and I could definitely make like ground beef and stuff that looks, really realistic. And maybe even like, I don't know how you find a kinetic sand like recipe that makes the kinetic sand like stickier or like have more like, like a sticky substance because man, this sand that this Genio ground turkey, it's just look at it's everywhere. I just open the package and it doesn't stick to itself at all. So there we go. But look at that. With the package back on, like you can't argue that. Like I definitely wouldn't pay for it. Like if I was like buying these individually, I would leave that one off because that one's not that impressive. All right, we're gonna call it a night after one last one. I still have a ton of balls. Look at all these. So hopefully I have the whole series. That's my game plan. But man, I am exhausted and tired. I still have a couple items to ship for my store, and I jumped right on to doing this live instead of actually packing my orders tonight because I was just so anxious. Besides, I figured if you guys are on the East Coast like me, nobody's going to want to watch a live opening of Miniverse at like, 4 a.m. because that would be for crazy people. I mean, people like myself, but still crazy. So here we go. And oh, hi, Sarah. I'm so sorry that I didn't see your hello when it first popped up. And I don't know why you're sad. Oh, you said hi. I thought it said sad hi. I'm like, why are you sad? Boy, I really am tired. My eyes are like burning. All right, here we go, folks. The one and only ball that I'm opening by itself without having already taken the outer wrapper off, which is fine because nobody wants to watch this part. All right, here we go. Let's make sure it's not a bunch of doubles. Oh, I forgot to tell you that part. That they come in 2 shopping bags in the thing. I had taken them out of the shopping bags because I wanted to save the shopping bags for my customers of the miniatures that I sell. Oh, good. No doubles so far. Let's see. Oh, we got 2 ingredient packets. Can you guess what they are? What are those 2 things? All right, here we go. I'll ruin it for you. Ready? This one is the Gross Hormel chili. This is my husband's deal. He loves this stuff. He loves all kinds of chili, especially he loves chili over spaghetti. Like, oh, it's a Cincinnati thing apparently. And he missed his calling. He should have been from Cincinnati because he loves that. We buy gallon buckets every time we're in that area and bring them home from, I think it's Skyline Chili. Oh my God. I'm probably going to start a war if there's anybody that's a big fan of Cincinnati and chili, because I know people are very passionate about their regional foods. And then here we go. We've got sweet orange marmalade. So that one's pretty cool. Awesome. And I will, real quick, throw those in there, but let's look at what the other 3 products are and see what we've got. And here we've got it. We have, popsicles. We've got the firecracker pops. We've got frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts, you know, the good ones, the things that people should really have. And, oh good, I got one of the products that I was asking the question about. How were they going to do this in mini form? And we've got Columbus slices of roast beef. Oh, I want to open this one first because I'm really curious. Okay, so let's show you the back of the package. It is like a, like lunch meat, like sliced deli meat, but it's like the brands that you buy that are like pre-sliced. You don't actually go up to the deli and have them slice it for you. These are already sliced up and they are put into a package. Looks like my front of my package wasn't put on too well. Like the sticker wasn't lined up, which whatever, I don't care. Like it's fixable. Plus most people are just going to do yoink and like never ever look at it again. They're never going to like try to reopen these tiny packages. But, I'm crazy. All right, and here we go. This is what we have inside. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Imagine the damn tiny sandwich. Imagine the charcuterie boards. For real. Imagine right now the charcuterie boards that we all will be making. I mean, like, obviously you can't, like, model it, like, on a sandwich without, like, having all the other ingredients. But it's really legit. Like, that looks perfect. It looks perfect. It looks amazing. There is 3 slices in the package. And this is supposed to be roast beef, so it looks really real. I mean, it doesn't have any, like, the fat striations or whatever like it would have. You could easily do that, I feel like. Use a white, what's it called? Acrylic marker pen or whatever. You could definitely, or even a gel pen, you could make a few marks. But, like, it looks like prosciutto. Oh, my, wait. Oh, no. It was just the reflection of the light. I'm like, oh, wow. Is it on this side? I thought, look at that with the light. I thought it was like the marbling, just like I was talking about adding. But no, it was just the reflection of my ceiling lights. But look at that. That's the roast beef slices. So you get 3 of them. And they come in that little shallow well in the packaging. And you can't really reseal it, but you can pretend. It does feel like the front was like ever so slightly tacky around the edges. So I do think if you cared or tried, there you go. You could kind of make it look at that. Make it look like you have never opened it before. That's awesome. Very, very, oh, I want to show you with her. Sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Sorry. Before I move on to the next thing, let's show you Mini Me. Show off that roast beef. Here it is. 1 package of delicious lunch meat roast beef. It is Columbus brand. There you go. The other day for homeschooling, my son, when there's holidays, I actually give him the holidays off generally, even though he kind of works on schoolwork through the summer. Usually when there's like a regular holiday, I give him the holiday, just like if he was in real school. So the other day he walks upstairs and he goes, I've got 9 assignments this morning, because like that's kind of our set number that he usually does, unless he's got, when he's just doing like basically quote unquote like workbook pages in different units that he's working on in different subjects. So he walks upstairs, and sometimes I have other projects for him. Or sometimes if we've got a lot to do as a family, like of work that day, I'll tell him, oh, you've only got 2 assignments this morning because, we've got a busy afternoon. So he came upstairs and he kind of grumbled, 9 assignments, Mom. And I was like, no, it's a holiday. So no. And of course, his face all lit up. Like, I might as well have just told him it was a snow day. He was so excited. And he goes, "It's a holiday." And I was like, "Oh, you just lost it." I'm like, "You don't know it's a holiday?" I said, "Well, now your homework for today." And of course, he looked devastated for just a moment. I said, "Your homework today is to look up what holiday it is. And then I want you to write me a paragraph on why we shouldn't celebrate that holiday anymore and what we should celebrate instead." So I got a email a little while later, titled, "It should be Indigenous Peoples Day and not Columbus Day." And I was very proud of my kid. And he even did it himself and didn't have AI write it. So I was even more proud of him. Way to go, kid. He also just wrote me an entire paper on internet safety and how to keep your teenagers safe online. And I did warn him that we'd probably be implementing some of his better suggestions. So it's a long research paper that he actually put a lot of effort into. So I need to go and read through that and help him make some edits to it. But I'm excited to see what what my kid thinks, and, putting him in the position of, being the parent and having to think about things like, how you keep your kids safe online. And it's funny because anymore he is so overprotective of his little brother. And like, he keeps telling me, "Oh, he shouldn't be on Roblox. Like, Roblox isn't good for little kids, and people are so manipulative." And, I just think it's wild that when he was 4 or 5, he would have died to have his hands on Roblox as much or as often as he wanted. And because he was our first kid, obviously, there was that learning curve, and we were figuring out like how much screen time is too much screen time. And we definitely went a little too hard with the screen time for my older one, because it was like, and it has always been his absolute favorite interest. Like, he wasn't like an iPad kid that would just sit and stare at his iPad. No, he just like was already building levels on like Roblox, and setting up servers in Minecraft, and building these like complex machines and stuff that like, spawn different things. It's wild. But yeah, so now to see him being protective of his brother and saying, "Oh, he shouldn't be online, or he shouldn't play this game. It's not good for kids." Like, it's wild. So I'm interested to see what he said in his paper. And I said, in my assignment listing, I was like, explain how, keeping your brother safe online is, how, what things you would suggest to help keep your brother safe online, that might have been different from the things that we did to keep you safe online. I'm really interested, because if it was up to my older son, my younger son would have no freedom, no freedom whatsoever to do anything. He is such an overprotective big brother. It is wild. All right, so I opened the Hormel chili, and I am about to open the can so we can put it inside. It's just exactly like the consistency of the peanut butter, where it's like a sticky putty. And then now the Hormel chili has a lot of beans in it. And so, it's, a different consistency than the peanut butter, but the gel anyway, the like putty makes up, it's very much the same. It's a little bit sticky, and it holds together a little less well, because there's so much, in the chili that's supposed to look like peanuts and everything. Or not peanuts, I'm sorry. They're supposed to look like beans. Like, look at that. Look at the attention to detail. My God. But anyway, I meant it doesn't hold together as well as a putty, because there's so many, little solid ingredients in there. But still, I don't know if you can hear it. There's actually little teeny tiny pieces of what sound like sand falling. But all right, check this out, right? Exactly, once again, the perfect right amount to fit in the chili can. And I think I'm going to be able to get the lid on, but oh, yep, perfect. It is full. And here you go. Here is my girl with her chili with beans. See if I can get her to hold it by herself. Oh, man, the cans are a little heavy. And again, I don't have the like putty that I usually use when I'm filming videos for her to, hey, 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 no wardrobe malfunctions, little miss. Good Lord, girl. Keep your shirt on. All right, here we go. Give you the Hormel beans, chili with beans. There you have it. can't get her to hold it by herself, but like there you can see size-wise. There we go. Size-wise, you can see the can of beans. All right, I'm having problems with my doll stand is the problem. She's like tipping over backwards. All right, let me finish this up, get her back situated. Doll stands are such a pain in the butt, but man, when you're filming, it is so hard because the dolls just want to tip over. So like when I'm filming my like semi stop motion, like full blown edited videos, it's such a pain in the butt because I have to have her in a doll stand and I don't want you to see it. All right, here we go. I think I fixed her. I've got the Rainbow High doll stand. Like I've actually got, look at this. I have, speaking of the putty, I have it shoved down in there, and then I have the top of it stuffed in on top of the putty to help hold it together. Because otherwise, the Rainbow High doll stands, if you're actually trying to like film and move your doll around a lot and have her like moving her arms and like, you know, gesturing, it looks terrible. And like the stand will twist and you'll see it. And worse, it'll just pull apart constantly. All right, we've got just a couple more things to check out. Oh, and here are the grocery bags. I definitely am going to keep these, and I will probably, when I ship out my orders, I might put the like little free gifts that I send to my customers in these little Have a Sunny Day shopping bags. And I have little stickers that say, this is a free gift or whatever. And I had so many customers on Mercari that would get their packages and then they would message me without looking at the thank you note or without like opening the entire thing. And they would message me right away and be like, oh, I got somebody else's package. I must have gotten the wrong thing because I opened like 3 items that aren't mine. And I'm like, no, girl, those are your freebies. Like I give freebies out to all my customers. And then people were like, oh my God, I feel so stupid. One person even opened a case because they're like, I got 5 objects and I only ordered 1 from like the KFC mini brand series. And she was like, yeah, I'm like, 1, why would you open a case for that? You got not only the item you ordered, but you got 4 more items. I mean, like, on one hand, I'd like to think that she was like, oh my gosh, I got somebody else's order. I got 5 items and I only paid for 1. But on the other hand, I was like, girl, no. I'm like, I gave you the item you ordered, and then I gave you multiple extras from that series because I was feeling generous that day. But I think I'm going to save the grocery bags from these and put little cute stickers on them and send them to my customers with their freebies inside. So now I use those stickers that say like that it's a freebie so that I don't get like customers contacting me and thinking that I mailed them the wrong item, especially if they go to, even worse. One of the ways that I wrap my items for my shop is that I use like a square of tissue paper. Like I collect all these colorful tissue papers. I put the like little miniature item inside, and then I will twist the ends together so it looks like a little piece of candy. You know, like you've got like the oblong shape and then like a twist of the paper that sticks out on either end. And I've had people say, oh, yeah, I got my order today and it had like 1 or 2 items in it. And then I had like the 4 pieces of candy you sent me, but I didn't get this, and this in my order. And I've had to message them back and I don't want them to feel stupid, but I'm like, yeah, those aren't candies. I'm like, those are actually the minis you ordered, like the Ulta minis that you ordered. They're just wrapped in tissue paper and I twisted the ends to seal them. I'm like, really? Do people think I'm sending them like unmarked candy in like tissue paper? But now I use those, this is your freebie, your free item sticker so that people stop like thinking that I'm sending them the wrong stuff. All right, here we go. We've got sweet orange marmalade. And again, just like the peanut butter and the other jelly that we opened, I'm assuming that this is going to be that nice thick putty. And it's got a great texture and it sticks to itself and not your hands. Again, I love everything about this. I mean, obviously it's not super flowy like a real, you know, like a real product would be, but it is definitely so good because first of all, for kids, can you imagine? Like at least this won't get stuck all over their hands, their clothes. I can't say it wouldn't get stuck in your hair because yeah, it probably would get stuck in your hair pretty bad. But at least it does not, it just, you know, it sticks to itself. As much as I like slimes and fidgeting and I'm neurodivergent and I like certain textures, I do not like the slimes. I even had a Peachy Babies one that I tried and I was shocked that like it stuck all between my fingers and I couldn't get it off. And oh my gosh, if I have a slime or something that sticks to my hands or anything sticky really, and I can't get it off, I feel like I'm trapped. Like I feel like I'm trapped in a prison of like having sticky fingers, and I start to like panic and stuff. I did that. I got like spray adhesive all over my hands one year at Halloween. Oh, it was like traumatic. For like 3 days I finally found the solution of rubbing my hands in sand. I had clean sandbox sand that I had bought for a project, and I would rub my hands in the sandbox sand, and the sandbox sand would stick, the clean sand would stick to the adhesive on my hands and my skin, and that was better than having like wildly sticky hands. It really was. All right, so here's the putty. Again, this one's a little bit stretchier because it doesn't have like the chili, it doesn't have the beans, and like the peanut butter, it didn't have the chunks in it, the little like peanuts. And so this one stays together pretty good. You get a good stretch. I think it would have been cool if the jam or the jellies had like little particles of fruit inside because, you know, most preserves and stuff do. But, you know, I'm going to give them a pass because this is an incredible product. And you could very, very easily, and with like almost no effort, you could add the little fruit chunks if you wanted to. Would not take much trouble at all. I mean, as a matter of fact, you could get like the little pieces of pineapple from the Miniverse sets and just, you know, slice a couple of them up and add them in there, and it would look just like the sweet orange. You would never know that it wasn't, that it, you know, that it was actually pineapple. It would fit right in. All right, hang on one sec. Here we go. I've got it in there. And once again, enough room for the lid. Goes on there perfect. And for size comparison, it is exactly the same size as a Concord jam. And there it is with the peanut butter. And let's get my girly to model it for you. Ah, damn it. Oh well. Dropped the peanut butter. But that's okay. Get your feet under you so you don't fall down. Whew, man, I am tired and I'm having a rough time. When I'm less tired, I'm better at this. There we go. Oh, she's staring at the sky. Hang on. See if I can. Nope. I'm going to say if I fix her head, I'm going to drop the jam. There we go, though. Now you can see it. There she is with the sweet orange marmalade. Oh, good catch, girl. Good job. There we have the jelly. And last but not least, oh, nope, I'm sorry. Last two things we're going to open from this ball is the strawberry Pop-Tarts, which I can go through this one really easy. I'm not even going to take the one out of the inner package. Oh, no, wait, I have to, or else we can't see the frosting. All right, I'm just going to pop it out, show you guys the frosting, because the other one that we opened was unfrosted. Of course, again, we've got the two, and of course, they're not see-through packages because they're Pop-Tarts. Like I pointed out last time, real Pop-Tarts in packages look like that. So if I was like making a video or something, I would fold back the flaps and just tape it down with a piece of Scotch tape because it would look more realistic that way. And then here we go. That is freaking incredible. Look at that attention to detail. That is so perfect and looks delicious. And that's probably what I'm going to have when I get home because I need a snack before I go to bed. And I actually have Pop-Tarts. So there we go. A strawberry frosted Pop-Tart because I am not a monster that eats unfrosted Pop-Tarts because that is crazy. There's the real deal. All right. Now, last but not least for tonight, because my eyeballs are burning and I'm exhausted from Halloween decorating, I'm going to open our very last product, which is the Firecracker Bomb Pops. Maybe Bomb Pops is a different brand, but like I've always heard these called Bomb Pops, and like maybe that's a different brand name, but I've always known these to be like this popsicle. Like I don't know. I remember these popsicle boxes, and I remember the red, white, and blue popsicles, and like obviously they do make reference to like firecrackers or whatever, but like maybe you guys can tell me. Did they make Bomb Pops? Is that like a different brand? All right, let me see what the chat was saying. Sorry about that. Hello from Philadelphia. Hello from Philly. You're right across the bridge. Hello right back from the other side of the bridge. I could meet you at the Walt Whitman in like 10 minutes if I wasn't so tired. All right. And here we have it inside the popsicle box. We have got 2. Nope, stuck in there. Second one doesn't want to come out. There we go. 2 popsicles. They come in like a nondescript white wrapper, which I feel, if I remember correctly, most popsicles like this come in like a skinny clear wrapper. But I didn't really get I didn't like these, so I didn't get them. I always got the strawberry shortcake and the other ones, the chocolate ones. So you guys will have to tell me, do they actually look like that? Because like I feel like the real deal popsicles would have a wrapper that was much closer in size to like that. But I think that these packages are just bigger because they know that like human hands wouldn't be able to open that package without cutting it. Oh my God, you guys are going to love this. Ready? How freaking perfect. How freaking perfect is that? Oh my God. I am definitely going to have to buy like 7 boxes of these and take pictures of all my dolls for the next 4th of July. I'm going to have to like have, popsicle, like the red, white, and blue. I'm going to have to cut some of the popsicles to different lengths. So it's like, the kids eating it. It's like down here. And then I'm going to have to paint like, on their faces with the melted popsicle. I'm definitely going to have to do a 4th of July photo shoot with all of my dollies, all my Rainbow High custom girlies hanging out with their 4th of July bomb pops, or their firecracker popsicles, sorry. Now, can I get her to hold this? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it without. No, she's like super hard to get her to hold that. Hang on. I'm going to use my cheap trick of using poster putty, because that is what you have to resort to. I didn't have any of the poster putty, so I haven't been using it all video. But when I mentioned to you guys that poster putty is what I was using to hold her doll stand together, I was like, hey, I can actually steal a tiny dab of it from the bit that's holding her doll stand together. And so now, with a little bit of movie magic, here we go. Not sure if I can do this without you seeing it, but I can make it look pretty good. Are you ready for this? Boom. Look at that. Look at that with the popsicle. It is the perfect size. And if her hand is like this, you 1000% cannot tell how she's holding it. Isn't that magical? Look at the freaking size of these things. They are so damn perfect. I am so impressed. MGA, you are killing it. Not just because my little lady here is an MGA girly, and not just because you make awesome products of like the Miniverse craft variety with the UV resin and all the other products you've been making recently. I mean, the My Mini Baby and all the other ones. Oh my God, there's been not My Mini Baby. I'm sorry. The My Mini, Make It Mini Baby Food. They have had so many hits lately with all these wild, brand new products. Anyway, so I obviously have a crap ton of more of these, let alone everything else to open. But I did promise in my Instagram that I was going to answer any questions. If anybody had questions about any of the new MGA products, because I have all of them. I have every set. I have the animals. I have the, what else is right by me? I have the baby food. I have the new diner and cafe series. The only ones I don't have yet are the Gudetama ones because they haven't come in yet. But if anybody has any questions or wants to see any of the ones that are out right now, the Target holiday foods. I have the new Krispy Kreme donuts and the Krispy Kreme holiday donuts. I've got the Christmas ones for Christmas 2025. Oh no, what happened? Did my phone freeze? Oh no, it says my phone had frozen. Hold on a second. No, did I lose my phone? Well, I guess I'm gonna have to stop there, guys, because as much as I would like to talk to you guys, it looks like my phone has frozen up and you guys can't see. All right, I'm so sorry about that. What a way to go. But yeah, my my camera froze up for some reason, and it says can't open camera, try restarting your phone. So I'm so sorry about that. But if anybody has any questions, post them in the oh, wait, did I get it back? I just saw my hands. Wait, oh, it is working. I think we are still here. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, real quick before I go, if anybody has any questions in the chat, yep, it does look like my camera's still working, even though it says that it's not. If anyone has any questions or wants to see any products that MG has made literally in like the last 3 months, now is your time to ask them. I will go grab, like, say you want to see the animals, like the mini dwarf rabbit. Now's the time to ask because I will go and grab whichever product you want to see. It'll only take me a moment because my closet's right behind me. I am at my office right now, and I will answer your question or show you the ingredients to whichever set you want to see. So real quick, before I call it a night, what would you like to see? Anything? Does anybody have any requests? I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little concerned about the weird message I just got from my phone. I'm hoping that this isn't like disconnecting. But if anybody is in the chat and wants to see any of the newer products or has any questions about any of the newest stuff that MGA has been doing, again, I don't work for MGA. I'm just a super fan, and I own everything that they basically have ever made. Oh, here we go. Meatloaf leftovers, please. I can do that. Give me one moment. I know exactly where it is. All right. If anybody asks anything while I am grabbing the meatloaf leftovers, tell them I am getting the meatloaf, and I'll be right back. All right, meatloaf leftovers have been acquired. This was the one that there was only one of in the box. When I opened the box of these, I actually got multiples, but this was the only one that there was only one in the entire case. So, let me show you what I got. This is the meatloaf leftovers from, what is it, Diner Series 5. We've got the table. I will show you. Yep, there we go. Oh, Diner Series 4, my bad. Right, because Series 3 had Wave 1 and Wave 2, and that was the one that happened, like, right in the middle of... It's funny. I was going to say the pandemic, but it was, like, the MGA pandemic. You know, the one where they had to recall all of their products. All right, and here we go. So this was the series where we got... What was it? I think it was only 8 items, wasn't it? Yeah, like crazy. I don't know what is going on. I swear that they're like, I don't like the fact that they're changing up the number of things that are in each series because it makes me nervous when products do that, especially MGA. But here we go. It had rainbow shaved ice, the berry cream puffs, which you could make an awesome croquembouche with those if you had enough sets. Brick toast, which is very weird. Never heard of that before, but it looks tasty. Panda sundaes, that's what's on the front of the box as the display. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The ice cream taco is on the front of the box, which we're getting our 3rd dinosaur ice cream stand. This one's a Triceratops. Harvest salad. The tofu pad thai, which also looks delicious when made. And then last but not least, the meatloaf leftovers. Best part about this one are definitely the leftover containers that you get. It's so cool. All right, so here we go. In the meatloaf leftovers, you get a what's for dinner mat. Of course, you get your stupid, basically useless tweezers. We get our app scannable thing, which I'll pull that open in just a second so you can actually scan it if you want to see. I don't know what it is, what it does. What do these scannable things do? Oh, they're for the game, right? That's right. I let my son download the game and then I just forgot what they are. I keep them in a pile and he has not gone back in and played the game since like we first downloaded it. I think he played it like twice. He was like, I just want to open the real toys and make them. But he's only 4, so he can't really do resin. Yeah, you get this little card. I wish they had made these for every series going back to the beginning, because what a cool freaking thing to like have made like a scrapbook of these. I love them. But, you know, I'm a completionist and it would drive me insane to start collecting these now because they don't make them for, you know, all the old sets. All right, the next thing we got was stickers for our leftovers. I love that they gave you extra blank stickers for you to put whatever you want in the leftover container, because that's kind of epic. All right. It's like they expect you to, you know, to reuse these products. Now, the next thing you got was a dinner plate and a spoon. Why a spoon for meatloaf? I mean, I guess meatloaf is soft, but get a regular spoon. This is a plate. It feels like it's supposed to almost like be a paper plate, but it's not. It's definitely plastic, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the like look of it. It looks like it's supposed to be or at least a cheap plate. And then we got our resin, which our resin is gravy resin. And I believe this is like one of the thicker resins where it ends up looking like, you know, a bit like peanut butter. Hang on, let's see what we got here. Our resin. There we go. Yep, it's that like thick. As a matter of fact, I swear they just reused the jars of peanut butter resin and put a different label on the outside, because that's exactly what it looks like. So, got a jar of gravy. Although, why would you put gravy? Like, don't you put ketchup on meatloaf, or am I a crazy person? All right, and then last but not least, oh, also, of course, your little nub that goes on your ball. Has anybody found a use for these things? Because, like, whatever. And then we've got the 3 takeout containers, the 3 leftover stacking containers. First of all, these are amazing. If you have like fill your fridge, these are awesome. The concept of like they could do an entire Tupperware series. Like, there you go. You're welcome, MGA Miniverse. You can definitely do a series with just like leftovers and takeout containers, and I think everybody would freaking lose it. Now, I have not taken the plastic wrap off of mine because I haven't opened it yet, but this is the set that I will make when I record my video. So what the hell, we'll take the plastic off now. And I always end up with like 5 or 6 copies. So I do not have a salt shaker. Was there supposed to be a salt shaker? Now you've upset me. Hang on. I gotta go back and look. Again, once again, I call it the map, but like, where's the booklet that I just had? I'm like losing my damn mind. I must have dropped it. I just looked at the paper with all of you guys. It said what's in this set. Where the hell did I put it? Seriously, is it on? It's not on the table. Wow, I am like so ADHD. I am able to lose things with such little effort. I literally don't see the thing because I wanted to check. Is it supposed to come with a salt shaker? I can't find it anywhere. I've got this thing. Or was it not in the ball when No, I just showed you guys the paper that had the list of everything. Wow. I legitimately have not gone anywhere. I haven't stood up. It must have fallen behind my table. Where is my checklist? I can't believe it. I like that fast. I can't find the checklist that I just had. Wow. I feel like I'm losing. Oh, there it is. Oh, thank God. It rolled under my table. Okay, hold on one sec. Let me see. Is it supposed to have a salt shaker? Oh my God, it's supposed to have a salt shaker. What the hell? Where's my salt shaker? I'm so upset. Oh my God. Wow. And I'm trying to think, because usually what would happen if I realized I was missing an item is that I would go back through all of the individual, like, you know, packages and feel everything and make sure that I didn't accidentally leave it in the package. But I'm trying to remember where all the trash is from when I opened these. Unfortunately, it's been a while. I don't think I have all the trash from them. Oh, wait, maybe no, I think I might have thrown them away. But like I opened these. I only opened basically like 8 or 9 balls that night, so I can't believe it. My salt shaker's not in here. Well, that's upsetting. Because I put everything back in the ball as soon as I opened it. So I guess I didn't get mine. Man, I'm going to have to file a claim with MGA. I'm so sorry, because I'm sure that you really wanted to see the salt shaker, and I apparently did not get one, which is a massive bummer. Well, that stinks. I'll have to go look. I took product photos, which I always do when I open stuff. So I'm going to have to go back and look at my product photo. Like I didn't have one of these to sell on Mercari because I didn't end up having a double. But thank you for bringing that to my attention. No, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, because obviously I wanted to be able to show you the set, and I was hoping it was going to be complete. So I feel bad that I'm missing an ingredient. That doesn't happen very often. I've had things where I've gotten like 2 spoons. And like I've had a couple times where I got, a bottle of resin that was burst open, but I've never actually been missing an ingredient. And I'm just checking around behind me because, of course, I've been like dropping stuff left and right all day and night. So I'm trying to make sure that I didn't accidentally drop the, a salt shaker, but I don't think that I did. That's a massive bummer. All right, well, I'm sorry about that. Did anybody else have any products that they wanted to see from the new lines before I call it a night? And I will tackle more of these tomorrow, I guess. So I'm sorry about that, and I hope I didn't let anybody down. I will have to go. I'm glad that you told me, though, because I would be really upset if I didn't get multiple copies of the set. And I ended up missing an ingredient, because I literally own all of the Miniverse sets ever. And it would be really upsetting for me to like suddenly realize I'm missing, one set because mine wasn't complete. Plus, of course I need a salt shaker. I'm surprised that's the first set that's been in. I mean, we've gotten salt before, but never like an actual like table salt shaker. So. All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry that I ended on a bummer note, but I've been live for over 2 hours and I'm tired, and I've got there's a storm supposed to be hitting us right now. They originally said with the possibility of light tornadoes, whatever that is. But it doesn't sound good. So I did want to get home, and I have to give my husband my van because he's using it for his work tomorrow. So I got to go pack a couple more orders on my Mercari shop. If anybody's looking for anything, as always, I have just about every series going back to the beginning available on my shop. And even though I'm super hectic and crazy between now and Halloween, and I've got custom costumes to make for my kids, and I still have to finish our yard decorations, I'm going to put up a video tour of my Halloween decorations for the 3 houses that I do this year. And I will show it on my YouTube, and I am going to get back to regular content production finally. And I have so much American Girl stuff, and also mini brands and Miniverse, because we literally just got like 24 series that all dropped in like a couple of weeks. So I hope you guys are good, and I hope you will come back and see me again another night, because I would love to hang out with you and open some more stuff and talk about minis. All right. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.